Hey everybody, Colin Wilson with the Action Network, returning for our Moneyline round robin for college football for week 5. Let's try to capitalize on some of the big underdogs that we hit in this round robin last week. 4 of 7 makes a nice little payday when you round robin it by 2s and 3s. Let's go ahead and start off in the Big 12 this week. We're going to get the TCU Horned Frogs going up against Kansas. Kansas has not been what we thought they were going to be. The loss of offensive coordinator Andy Kotelnicki has had a huge effect on what this offense has been from an explosive play perspective. They are just not as efficient. You can expect the Horned Frogs to take advantage of that game after Sonny Dykes was thrown out. Next up, we're going to go to the state of Alabama to take on Auburn, plus 115 against Oklahoma. Oklahoma is just a beat-up team right now all the way. Nick Anderson out for wide receiver. Andrew Anthony, not doubtful, not going to play. Deion Burks, questionable. Now we're starting a freshman quarterback, Michael Hawkins Jr., and he has no weapons around him as the Sooners go on the road and face an Auburn team that had a 94% post-game win expectancy and still lost to Arkansas last week. Let's look for the Tigers to get it done, plus 115. Next up, we're going to stay in the state of Alabama. We're going to stick with UAB, the Blazers here at plus 140, going up against the Navy team that we were just on last week. As 3-1 underdogs against Memphis, they were able to pull it off, run Memphis out of the building. I expect that to change gears this week against a UAB team that gave Arkansas all they could handle on their home field. Take the Blazers plus 140. How about the Sun Belt? App State, well, let's back them, plus 140 against Liberty. Yeah, that's gross. App State missed 28 tackles against South Alabama last week. Pretty embarrassing performance on national TV on a weeknight game. Now they get a couple days to prepare for a Liberty team that has the worst strength of schedule in the nation at 134th. This is going to be a whiteout in Boone. Everybody App State showing up is very focused in on this game. App State in practice all week has talked about their defensive physicality, how it has not been there this year. And that's what they're going to improve in on this game. That will translate to a win, plus 140 for App State. Let's go to the MAC. Who doesn't love Western Michigan? Plus 150 here against Marshall. Western Michigan comes off of a bye, and they're going to take on a Marshall team that probably doesn't care about this game whatsoever. After the Thundering Herd, who just got off a game against Ohio State, after the Thundering Herd play this game against Western Michigan, they have to play 3 conference games in 12 days. I can't see why Charles Huff and the Marshall coaching staff is spending time on Western Michigan when they have a boatload of conference games hitting them in the next 2 weeks. Let's take Western Michigan plus 150. We pivot to the Big 12. Oklahoma State plus 180 against Kansas State. Kansas State has been obliterated on the back end from opponent passing perspective. BYU just threw on them all night. Arizona threw on them all night. They just could not get into the end zone. You look at this Oklahoma State team, just kind of embarrassed against Utah, but that's what it is when you face that secondary and you face that Utah defense for the first time. Teams are stacking the box against Ollie Gordon, but Kansas State is not built to do that with a 3-man front. There's going to be some success here, and Alan Bowman should see something different than cover 1 and have some success throwing the ball. Let's back the Pokes here, plus 180. And finally, dirty. Let's get real dirty. Let's go to the MAC. Akron plus 340 against Ohio. Listen, Ohio should not be double-digit favorites to anybody, especially Akron, who's actually playing really good defense. Akron has the 3rd toughest strength of schedule in the nation. They actually rank in the 70s when it comes to pass rush. They're going to be able to get into the backfield, whether it's Parker Navarro, whoever's playing quarterback for Ohio. Akron is going to be able to cause some disruption and make this game more of a toss-up than a 10-point game. At plus 340, we're going to add it to our card as our super long shot to round out our teams of 7. All right. To review, TCU plus 110, Auburn plus 115, UAB plus 140, App State plus 140, Western Michigan plus 150, Oklahoma State plus 180, and yes, Akron Zips plus 340 to round out our 7-team Moneyline round robin parlay for college football during week 5. Good luck.